As you may notice, I am not in my study this evening. The armchair is elsewhere. The field notes temporarily retired. Tonight calls for a different atmosphere. Tonight, we discuss professionals, animals who did not merely develop courtship strategies, animals who perfected them. I felt the occasion deserved a change of scenery and a decent drink. Welcome to Wild Rizz. I am Sir Nigel Wingman, explorer, observer, and this evening, reluctant admirer. Let us begin. Allow me to introduce the superb Lyrebird, a bird from the forests of southeastern Australia, who looked at the concept of courtship and decided that talent was the only currency worth having. Now, the Lyrebird is famous for one extraordinary ability: mimicry. Not the amateur imitation of a parrot repeating words like a small feathered recording device with no editorial judgment. No, the Lyrebird is the greatest natural mimic on this planet. He can reproduce, with perfect acoustic precision, virtually any sound he has ever heard. Other birds, entire flocks simultaneously, camera shutters, car alarms, human voices, and most famously, chainsaws. A Lyrebird heard logging machinery operating in his forest. He listened, he practiced, and then he incorporated a perfect chainsaw impression into his courtship display for a female, romantically. Now I have attempted many things in the pursuit of romance. I have never once considered performing power tool acoustics, and yet it worked. The display itself is extraordinary. The male clears a specific performance mound in the forest, his personal stage. Then he fans his tail feathers into an enormous lyre shape, a shimmering curtain of curved silver plumes, framing his entire body like a living theater. And then he performs. He produces a continuous stream of sounds cycling through his entire acoustic repertoire while dancing, while displaying the tail simultaneously. Coordination level, extraordinary. Multitasking level, embarrassing to witness as a comparison. The female watches, evaluates. She is listening for repertoire size. How many sounds can he produce? Accuracy. How precise is the mimicry? Originality. Has he incorporated unusual sounds? Stamina? How long can he maintain the performance? She is essentially running an audition with full casting authority. I have known several people who operated this way. They were exhausting to be around and completely irresistible. Now, does the Lyrebird always succeed? No. Even the greatest performers face rejection. A female may watch the entire display, listen to the complete repertoire, and simply leave. No explanation, no feedback, no acknowledgement that what she just witnessed was objectively remarkable. And the Lyrebird returns to his mound, continues practicing, adds new sounds to his repertoire, prepares for the next performance. No bitterness, no crisis of confidence, no lengthy period of artistic doubt, just continued refinement. That is not merely game, that is mastery. The Lyrebird seduces through talent. But our next gentleman seduces through what he can become, specifically a large red balloon. Allow me to explain. Meet the magnificent Frigate Bird. And I use the word magnificent, not as flattery, but as his actual name. Someone in the scientific community looked at this creature and decided that magnificent was the only appropriate designation. They were correct. The male magnificent frigate bird is a large, dark seabird, impressive wingspan, elegant in flight, distinguished in repose, a perfectly respectable bird by any conventional measure. And then mating season arrives. The male develops a gular pouch, a bright scarlet red throat sac that he can inflate to the size of a large balloon. We are talking about a pouch that, when fully inflated, is roughly the size of his entire body. Bright red, glossy, impossible to ignore, visible from considerable distance. The male frigate bird inflates a red balloon attached to his throat, sits in a tree, and waits for females to fly overhead for hours, sometimes an entire day. I once waited 40 minutes for someone, considered it a personal sacrifice, and have mentioned it several times since. This bird inflates a balloon on his face for 8 hours and considers it standard procedure. I find this humbling. The female flies overhead. She inspects the males below. She is evaluating pouch size. Larger indicates stronger genetics, color intensity. Brighter red signals better health. Wing display quality. Persistence. How long has he maintained the display? She may circle multiple times, inspect multiple males, compare displays with the focused efficiency of someone who has done this before and has no intention of making a poor decision. This is not him celebrating her arrival. This is him closing the deal. A professional does not relax simply because the audience has shown interest. A professional performs harder. He finds the highest possible tree, inflates everything he has, and says to the sky, "I am here. I am committed. I am not going anywhere. Make of this what you will." That is confidence without apology. The frigate bird inflates a balloon on his face, sits in a tree, and wins. Perhaps I've been overthinking this. And so, the lyrebird mastered talent. The frigate bird mastered commitment. One seduces through extraordinary ability, the other through extraordinary audacity. Both are completely confident in their approach. Neither apologizes for what they are. Neither hedges. Neither manufactures mystery. They simply show up fully, completely, without reservation. And somehow that is the oldest game there is. I have studied romance across 5 continents, documented it in field notes, observed it in creatures great and small, and the conclusion I keep returning to is embarrassingly simple. The ones who win are rarely the most sophisticated. They are simply the most committed to the professionals. May we learn something from them. I have been Sir Nigel Wingman, explorer, observer, and this evening, genuine admirer. Subscribe if tonight's professionals impressed you. New field reports arrive every week. Until next time, know what you have, show up completely, and never, never apologize for the size of your balloon. The forest is watching. Begin again.